quick? Do you mind me asking? Did you get it?
You know what? They're not used to the kind of rain we get here up in Cleveland,
You
Ohio.
did a job, and they got mud in the corner, which I pointed out to them when they moved in.
Good
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody.
Oh, we've got a lot of microphones on this morning.
There you
I
go.
like it.
Turn on your cameras. Good morning, Sandra. Looking good. Michelle, Happy New Year. Gary, good morning, sir. Sean, driving. Be safe. It's good
Hey,
to see
Gary.
Will
everybody.
do. Good morning. Good morning.
Gary,
Can
how are
everybody
you?
else turn the cameras on?
Doing okay, Jeff. How you guys doing?
I'm doing good. Happy New
Great,
Year.
great.
Morning, Gary.
Good morning.
Shelly, good morning. How are you?
Morning.
Good to see you. Brian Decker. Happy New Year. Good to see
Hey,
everybody.
Luke. How are you? I see Luke on here. Can you turn your camera on, Luke, or are you in the middle of something you can't do? No showers. That's what Jeff always says.
Yeah, we don't want
Gotta
the
have your
cameras on.
camera on unless you're in the shower.
Yep. Finishing up a team meeting. There you go, Luke.
Okay, good deal.
Good deal. So, guys, let's go ahead and get started. We'll have more and more people coming in, I'm sure, as we go. The new year is here, 2023. Happy New Year, everybody. It's good to see everybody. Hope the holidays were good. I know we got delayed a little bit. Our daughter was stuck in Michigan, back there visiting some friends. And so our Christmas was on Wednesday, the 28th. It was our Christmas. So anyway, but hopefully everybody got to where they needed to get to. It was crazy times, I know, with that storm and Southwest Airlines and all that madness. But anyway, I learned a long time ago, I just don't like to travel during the holidays. It can be a little chaotic. So anyway, Cristin Smith up there in Montana, Billings. Good to have you on. Guys, so the first Tuesday of every month, of course, this is open to everybody. If you're not with EXP, we welcome you. We get agents on here all the time from other companies. This is open to everybody. So the first Tuesday of the month, we always just like to open it up. No prepared subject or topic. Sometimes we'll hit a few things, but just wanted to open up to people to really have just a good mastermind idea, some ideas that we'll throw out maybe to get some discussion going. But Kathy, do you want to hit anything here before we get things kicked off? Do you want to?
No, I'm just ready to get this kicked off. I mean, we are at the beginning of the year, and everybody's got their goals set. And what are we? The third of the month. And
Yep.
I'm sure we've all heard that. I think we all set these goals at the beginning of the year, and then by January 17th, you hear like the gym is full the first week of January, and then by the 17th, statistically, people are falling off, right? But that's just not in the gym. That's just in our business. That's in everything. And so we like coming together and doing this once a month at the beginning of the month, where we're just masterminding together and just sharing ideas of what each of us are doing to increase our business, to hit our goals, all of that. So Jeff, I just say we open it up, and here we are at the beginning of the year, and I would love to hear what some of y'all's not necessarily goals, although that would be fine to share too, but like, what are you doing in the next 2 weeks to kickstart hitting your goals for the first quarter that you've set in place for yourself? Like, I'd love just to hear some people's activities that they're in their actions that they're putting into place. Who wants to go first?
Don't be shy. Anybody, come on and share what you're working on here these first couple weeks of the year. It's a fresh start. Suzanne, you unmuted yourself. Good morning.
She's like, oh, I didn't mean to do that.
You don't have to go first if you're not ready to. Cristin, can I ask you? I mean, broker owner up there, whatever, now with EXP, doing some great things. How about for you? I mean, just, you're used to doing this. You've been in the business here for what, 9-10 years now?
Yeah. Just starting my 11th year. This
11th
next
year.
month, so,
There you go.
Oh gosh, what am I doing? Honestly, I did a pretty good job setting my goals this year. And so, I am just ready. I've kind of honed in
an email back either.
on some of what I want to do as far as getting out there. And so I'm really going to be honing in on some YouTube videos and specifically about billings in the community itself. I am finding that people are far more interested in that than learning about how to buy or sell a house. And so, so I'm working on kind of a list of what I'm going to do and what I'm going to show in billings and what I'm going to talk about. So that's kind of how I'm kicking off my year.
Very
So
cool.
expand on that a little bit. YouTube is big, and there are a lot of agents that are several that I'm aware of that are doing just that and are having immense success with that. They're showcasing their area where they're going to restaurants, they're just talking about different things in the area. One of the things, I don't know if you follow, gosh, I just went, Jesse Dayu, D-A-U, I think that's how you say his name, and Jackson Wilkie. So they actually teach a YouTube course. And one of the things that they really talk about is obviously, just like in any marketing, you've got to catch people's attention. And so they will do overlays on their video, but it's always like the top 5 reasons that you don't want to live in Billings, or the top 5 reasons that you do want to live in Billings, Montana, right? So you got to get something catchy that makes them just want to click on the video. But what is your plan? Let's talk about this for a minute. What is your plan with YouTube? When you say you're just going to highlight Billings, what does that look like for you? Like, what's your plan that you got?
What I kind of plan on doing is, hitting some certain neighborhoods and kind of giving a little tour of the neighborhoods, talking about the benefits of those neighborhoods. I intend to do some local restaurants and such. We're actually starting within our group and kind of inviting different people from, the community, real estate agents, lenders, stars, really whoever wants to join, for supporting local businesses on Monday. So we're kind of going to be doing a little, a cocktail mocktail hour, if you will, focusing on some of those locally owned businesses. And so I'll use part of that for some of my YouTube videos, so that people can search, because what I did not realize, and I'm kind of not like the technology guru. So most of you are probably about 1 million years ahead of me in this, but I did not realize that YouTube was truly more of a search engine than anything. And so learning that really changed my perspective on using YouTube and what I'm doing with it. And so obviously I want people to find me when it comes to real estate, but I also want people to find me, looking at the community and being a community expert and showing them what is in our community. And so knowing that now, I really just want to highlight the town and the businesses and that kind of stuff. So that's kind of my plan.
So just a couple of thoughts around there, and you probably already have done all this research and what have you, but like I said, having those catchy titles for people to really want to listen in to it. I think given the market update for Billings, I was trying to look up, there's a 2 girls, Jeff, you might know them, they're out of Denver, and they do a lot of YouTube as well. I was trying to find their names. I was going to read a couple of the titles that they have. I was just going to read a couple of the titles that they
Catchy
have.
titles. I know sometimes like, top 5 this, whatever,
top
do
5
these
this.
3 things for whatever, like just sometimes like numbers in the title, that kind of stuff is good. And it doesn't have to be real estate related. I mean, again, I think your idea, Cristin, building up billings, doing some different things, interviewing, a coffee shop owner or some sort, and do some sort of a giveaway. Here's the first 5 people that share this video, whatever, I'm giving you a $5 gift card to this coffee shop kind of thing, and all of a sudden now you get them sharing it, and now this thing can start going a little bit like that. There's different things you can do. We'll do some. It makes me think, Kathy, like we should do probably coming into this first quarter even to do some good trainings on
We should
just even building up YouTube. We've done them before, but just to catch up on that a little bit would be really, really good. I'll just, and for all you guys, if you don't have any kind of YouTube presence or YouTube channel, I'll just say, a year ago, I had none at all. It really started, it was one of my goals this last year, and just consistently plugged into that. I got a notification here at the end of the year. Congratulations, you just uploaded your 300th video for the year, and I've had almost 30,000 views now, which is good. I mean, it's just going to exponentially grow over time, but I started with 0. And a lot of those are reels that are, a minute or less. I do upload training things on there. There's all kinds of stuff that I'm uploading into there, but, and then of course the interviews I'm doing with different agents and stuff, whatever, which is always great. Get good tips from them that would pass on to their agents or even to consumers. Interviewing lenders, interviewing, home inspectors, and Let's talk about the inspection process. You could create a whole playlist for buyers that you could turn around and then email that playlist out to a new lead that comes in, a buyer lead that comes in. Hey, not sure if this is your first time buying a home or second time, whatever. Here's the process. Check out this quick, playlist, step 1 to 5 on what it's going to, the process of buying a home. And you can have a playlist together, and then I see you do a video one time and it just works for you 24/7. There's so many things in there that is so powerful with YouTube. So have you done much YouTube before, Cristin, or is this really your first kind of getting it going?
Okay, I don't want anybody to go to my channel because it's really
okay.
bad. So
You're
yes,
good. You're good. We all start there.
Yeah.
Exactly. So you can progressively see where it's getting better, but I definitely have a lot to learn. And so, so I'm just really going to dive in. So yes, I do have my channel. I have 4 subscribers, a whole 4. It's pretty
That's
awesome.
fine.
You gotta start.
Start
That's
somewhere.
awesome.
That's where you start,
That's right.
So so I'm really just learning, and the technology really, you just hit a certain age. I think that some of us just aren't technology people, but I'm figuring it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if you're like me, you've been around, and Jeff been around a long time. It's daggum, you get good at one thing, and now whole new platforms come around.
Jeff, I have a question for you.
Sure, Kevin.
I went on your YouTube because I'm got curious. Are you getting help with your slides and your things like that, or are you doing this all yourself?
Well, with the reels, I've got people doing that for me,
Okay.
for
is that
sure. And I
costing
would
you
tell you
money?
guys to do that. But the last thing you want to find somebody, there's companies out there, and again, they all charge different things. We could talk, offline as far as who I'm using, that kind of stuff, whatever. But it's just the last thing I will tell you guys you want to do is buy a bunch of video software to put on your computer. I made that mistake, and next thing you know, I'm spending 8 hours a day editing videos. That's not going to make me the money that I need to make as far as my real estate business. I'm not in the video business, but there's companies out there that will do it, and they do this stuff all the time. You got these young people out there that are in their 20s, and they started their own production company, and you can send them the raw footage, and they'll cut it. Here's one of the things that we do a lot. I'll do an interview with an agent or an interview with a lender or a title company or a home inspector, whatever, or a restaurant owner, whatever. You could do a 10-minute, 15-minute interview and cut it into 15 1-minute reels.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like that's the piece of it. But you send that off to whoever you have and let them do all the music and all that kind of stuff, because I just don't want to do that. I would tell you guys, don't get caught up in that mess. Okay.
And you can go to Kevin, you can go to Fiverr, 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 and they've got specialized people that do everything, no matter what it is you're trying to look for. They've got people in there, and they'll bid it out, and you can probably get somebody to edit your video for, I don't know, I've not had someone on Fiverr do that, but it's going to be expensive. I mean, 25, 40 bucks, maybe $50 to edit your video, or even create an overlay on the front of it like Jeff has on his and I have on mine, to do those overlays, where that's showing as the thumbnail. So Fiverr is a good place. Looking into hiring a VA, but a lot of those people want to be full time. So, but a VA, I mean, you can pay somebody that $4 an hour to do all of your work, and they'll do things like video editing. They'll do anything and everything you want, and you can get them relatively inexpensive.
Yeah.
So those are a couple of cheaper places to get some of that put together for yourself.
Place to get started, and we will talk more about it, because I think it's one of those things that is growing. Like you said, Cristin, it is a search engine. The fact that Google now owns YouTube, if you do a Google search, if you do it on the computer, and you'll see this, where here's your top couple searches, whatever, but then you always there's a line, usually right there, and it's videos. That comes up now on, when you do a Google search on a computer. So it's just something, it's definitely something to get into if you haven't done it. Don't let the technology of it scare you. I mean, I knew nothing about it a year ago. I'm just telling you, and I'm still learning as I go. To this day, I'm not where I want to be with it, but I've made some good headway in the last 12 months for sure. The consistency, I think, is one of the things that I would tell you guys with anything that you're doing right now. I mean, we're all in this beginning of the year and goals and stuff. You're going to find right now, here's where people will go wrong, is they don't stay consistent with it. They do it 3 times this week, they do it 2 times next week, the third week they do it once, and then they're not doing it anymore. That's what happens with most goals and resolutions and all this stuff, which is we're just being consistent and just doing it and pushing past it. It gets easier and easier the more you do it, you know, with something like this, whatever. But that consistency will pay off with any goal that you've got.
The only
So-
follow-up question I have, Jeff, is, you know, we're all very concerned with ROI, you know, and how much time you put into that and how much, you know, you invest in it, and whether someone says, you know, Jeff, I saw your YouTube video, and, you know, can you tell me how to, you know, find property in, you know, Oshkosh or whatever,
Sure.
you know, because, you know, as realtors, we don't necessarily have to be, you know, video people, but it is a good way to get your name out there. So, you know, ROI is very important. And everyone I've spoken to says, I have no idea whether it's working or not.
Yeah.
So
We've had several things. Now, again, I haven't focused mine a whole bunch on mine. My page is primarily geared towards agents. You know, having been in this for 20 years, you know, a lot, I mean, we most of our buyers and sellers are referrals and past clients. And, you know, we got a lot of that. We're always open to new business, of course. I mean, we are doing some of that. But a lot of my page is geared towards agents and working with agents. I love working with agents, you know, and training agents. That's why I love doing this every Tuesday and just different things. So a lot of my stuff is there. I have had, you know, several agents in the last 12 months reach out to me, you know, whatever. And it's opened that door for us to talk some about their business and what they're doing and where they want to go. You know, people I didn't know, you know, so there's definitely a return there. I will tell you, there's some good people out there. You know, that are in EXP and other companies as well that have a big video presence who are, what's the one guy, Kathy, do you remember that guy? He did like 40, 50 deals like a year, strictly, you know, in his first couple of years, strictly from a YouTube presence geared towards buyers and sellers. I mean, just picking up people.
Look up Jackson Wilkie and Jay, and the one I said a minute ago, Jesse DAU. Look up both of them. They've got a lot of, you know, good video. They sell a course and it's quite expensive. So don't look at it from that perspective. Just look at what they're doing on their YouTube.
Kyle Whistle is really good.
Kyle
You know,
Whistle
he's
does
got
a
a
lot,
big
yeah.
video presence and it's all geared towards buyers and sellers. He's doing like what Cristin's doing. He's in San Diego. So he'll do all kinds of things about San Diego, but then he'll do things about the market and different things. There's ways then to get that out to people. You know, again, you might be marketing for leads on kvCore or whatever site you're using as far as, you know, bringing leads. But then a lead comes in and, you know, part of your response back to them, it might be an automated reply, but you're getting them back to your YouTube channel. It establishes you, I think, as an authority in your market is what it'll do. And all of a sudden you start setting yourself out a little bit. You know, it's a tool in the toolbox, you know. I think there will be a good return on it. I'm getting a return on mine for sure with what I'm doing, but I know there's a big return on it for people as far as picking up buyers and sellers. And again, like if you're doing all the editing and all that kind of stuff, yeah, it's very time consuming. My time spent on it, honestly, is very minimal. I mean, I'll interview somebody, whatever, which will take me a half an hour, you know, and then I send that off. They're doing all the work as far as getting the stuff on there. You know, I'm literally spending probably 30 to 60 minutes a week, maybe on my actual channel myself. You know, it's, you know, me doing maybe some of the, like, again, interviewing somebody and then send that off, and then
You
all the rest of
outsource
it
it,
is just
yeah.
done. It's not been like this where I'm spending 6-7 hours a day on my YouTube channel. Not even remotely close, you know? So
Anybody else doing YouTube that's got a final point on that? And if not anymore,
I know
then-
Gary's been building it. Gary, you've been building yours up.
Yeah, I'll say a few things. What you guys doing is recommending as far as showcasing the community is right on. I'm also doing, like you said, Jeff, a lot of interviews with service providers to help with the buying or selling process. And short clips, you know, no more than 15 minutes is my typical goal. But I did one last week. I think we can be able to use over and over with a member of my team who's my home stager. I'm talking about what is home staging and why should you stage your home.
Yeah.
So I did that and I put it out on, you know, I use Streamyard, which is a great, you know, a studio. It's very expensive to do these interviews. It automatically is live on Facebook, it's live on LinkedIn, it's live on YouTube, and it populates to those social media platforms as soon as it's over too. So because I'll give you credit for introducing me to the Streamyard, program too. But those are all great things. Just like I said, doing it consistently, doing at least 1 or 2 per week is one of my goals for 2023.
And that ties in, Gary, with Suzanne, your question. You were talking about doing Facebook Lives. What I would tell you is to do it through Streamyard. If you use Streamyard, it's a great platform because you can go live on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, all at the same
All at
time if you have
once.
accounts on there. So you just set it up on Streamyard, you go live on Streamyard, and it then goes live on all those platforms. Now you could also record it on Streamyard and then play that recording through Streamyard, and it looks like you're live. It's another way to do it. So there's different ways to do that, but StreamYard's a very inexpensive platform. You can do it for free. They do have
That's what I
different.
need.
They have different
Great.
paid levels that will do it as well, but it's a way to get it out there. But then when you go live, like you record it on StreamYard, you go live to YouTube. It now will create it does a video now on your YouTube channel.
Okay.
So
So
and if you have a Gmail account, guys, you have a YouTube. You all have a YouTube channel if you have a Gmail account. You may not have done anything with it, but you have a YouTube channel right now.
And to Jeff's point earlier, when you start doing those lives, I would outsource it and get somebody to put them down into shorts and reels and get them back out there, on YouTube and back on Facebook in shorts and reels. So you can just take one live you do and make, depending how long that is, you can make 5, 10, 15 additional videos that can get posted out there on your social media platforms.
Yeah.
Nice. But to be consistent, if I'm doing these Facebook Lives with lenders and inspection people and just different, is twice a week if I'm consistent? Okay. I mean, I kind of
Sure.
would like to promote, especially at first, that, I'll be doing it this day and this day or something. I don't know. I mean, any suggestions would be awesome.
Kathy, any thoughts on that? I mean, I think, twice a week is great. I mean, I think something like that to get started with it,
I'd
for
say
sure.
get started, and then, if you're consistent with that, if you could build up to 3 times, like a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, even better, but just start, it's like, just start and get out
Yeah,
there.
it's
If
great
you're,
if I-
doing twice a week, I think is great.
Said I was going to do it too much and then not doing it, to me, that would be worse than,
If you're doing an interview style, I think twice a week is fine. And I think that's perfect. But then maybe just go live with another couple of minute live every other day about something else. Maybe something in the community, kind of, what Kristin's talking about. But you can't go live too much. Now you don't necessarily want 30-minute interviews, right? Every day.
Yeah, that would get a
Every
little
week.
overwhelming. And I just don't want to spend that much time even doing it.
Yeah,
Right.
but just do lives like every day. First of all, it helps your algorithms on Facebook, for other stuff. So the more lives you're doing, the more engagement that happens on those, the more people end up seeing all your other videos. So that's what I would say. Do your 2 interviews a week and then do lives the other 3 days. And those
Thank you.
lives are short.
For sure. And a couple of things I'll share out of that, Grant Cardone, I learned that from him, whatever. He'll sit down and just talk for 30 minutes about a topic that he's good at talking about, and just the cameras are on and he'll go for 30 minutes. They'll take that 30-minute video now and they'll chop it up into 15 or 20 1-minute clips.
Yeah.
And there's all his reels. So again, it's just, that's the thing to do, is send that off to somebody, find somebody, and we can help you with that, but you can look for people as well. There's people locally, wherever you are, that can take that and chop it down into 30-second, 45-second, 1-minute reels, for more content. Okay. So again, let them do all the heavy work on that. Okay. The other thing I would tell you too, Suzanne, is let's say you do 2 a week. And you do that consistently for a couple of months here. If you did that for 2 months, you've got 16 videos, basically. If I'm thinking that right, 8 times, 8 a month, you'd have 16 videos. The nice thing about StreamYard, if you're using StreamYard, is it archives all of them. you could now, let's say there's a week where you're busy that week or you're out of town that week, you can actually schedule to replay some of those and they go live out to Facebook, whatever. My wife and I went to Italy back in November. We were gone for 10 days. I had 2 or 3 different interviews that I had done months earlier that I went out because I want to keep that consistent presence on there, even though I'm out of the country. And I did it through Streamyard. I just set them all up to one played, I just set it up. It played it, Tuesday morning at 10 o'clock and I'm, doing
I
a tour
like
of the
that.
Coliseum, and it did it automatically. But people don't know that I'm not live, on there at that time.
Cool.
So there's a lot of good things. With StreamYard's a great platform to use for something like that. And again, you can get it for free. They do have a several different paid levels, but it's very minimal, as well. I did like an annual thing. It was like, I don't know, 100 and something for the year.
100, yeah.
To do it. So
Thank you.
let's
Jeff.
move on to a different topic. Who's got something else they want to talk about? Something else you're working on going into the new year here, whatever, and how you're doing it. You guys have things?
I would like to throw something out there if I could, just
Sure,
to get your
Joyce.
thoughts on it. Good morning and happy New Year, everybody.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I was a late bloomer getting my business degree, and one of the things that I learned in getting my business degree is that how important it is to set yourself apart from your competition and added value to whatever you're offering. And as I've actually had my license in this longer than I've had my insurance license, but in addition to being a realtor, I'm also a financial advisor. And what I was thinking, and I wish I could show this to all of you, and I think you would agree with me about how extremely valuable this information is. And there's so many of our clients out there. I mean, all of them are concerned about their finances, about retirement, about, they've got children, about college planning, and just an array of different things. And it seems like everything today sets on finances. But anyway, what I was thinking of doing, I'm having some postcards and mailers for marketing made up. And I think it would be nice to keep this within the EXP family to do this. And I wouldn't want to have it, just keep it to myself. I'd want to do this for other agents EXP agents out there as well. But I was actually thinking to add value to what we're already doing. I would be happy to give for free, like 3 hours of financial education to our clients that we close deals on. And that could be an incentive for them to help, to let us help them and serve them. And I think it would be really, really good to do that, because this financial information is just excellent. It could be a life changer, and not just for that client, but down through the generations. And I just wanted to get your thoughts on that.
Kathy, any thoughts? Sure.
Yeah, I think let's talk about that offline, Joyce, and just kind of
Okay,
see
sure.
what that looks like. And, if we could do it in a shorter time than 3 hours. I don't know exactly what that is you're referring to, but specifically, but I mean, I agree with you. I think buyers, agents, everybody, like finances is always a hot topic in everybody's household. And so
I think any kind of value add that you can give to clients, for sure.
Right.
You're just, you're anything you can do to win over the clients and set yourself apart, is a plus, and I think too, to, whatever, any kind of value add you want to give to agents, Kelly Fasterling, she's part of our group here, and, she's a financial advisor, financial planner by background, been a realtor for 7-8 years as well. And she's actually taught a couple classes on here on, realtors and finances.
As a matter of fact, I'm sorry.
I was
Jeff,
just saying, I mean, we're good at
interrupt.
making money. We're good at spending money. We're good at not
I
paying
was
taxes.
just going to say that Kelly is one that has inspired me to go ahead and get my one of the certifications for my series that she had mentioned to me about getting. And so she was very, very good. very helpful when I talked to her, and thank you, Kathy, for giving me her information. But yeah, she was one that suggested that I just go ahead and work on the next thing that I would work on besides in addition to doing real estate, would be that certain series certification that I'd be getting. So yes, I'm very grateful to Kelly for
Cool.
the inspiration that she's given to me.
Yeah.
Here's a question maybe for everybody. Like, what are some things that you're thinking about maybe doing, coming into the new year to set yourself apart? To make yourself stand out. We've done trainings on the different things, different ideas that we've thrown out in the past, whatever. We could talk about some of those, but any thoughts on that? Something something you want to do in the next 6 months? I mean, Cristin, I think what you're doing with the YouTube, there's a way to set yourself apart from the other agents in Billings by really creating a presence in your market, whatever, and getting the word out, on that you've got all this info. But that's one way to do it. What are some other things that maybe some of you are working on to make yourself stand out? Why should a realtor pick you versus the other 3,000 realtors in town?
I just
May I ask a
relocated.
side question?
I'm sorry, say it again.
Jeff,
Patricia,
you
was
want
it?
to go ahead? Yes, I have a question. Yes, so on Streamyard, is everybody getting the individual account or are they getting the business accounts? Because there's a great difference in pricing.
I think I think I did the business account. I think now, again, that was after I'd used it for a little bit because I knew I wanted to keep using it more and open up more tools for it. And I don't remember the pricing was pretty minimal. Gary, what do you have? Do you have your individual account or a business account with Streamyard? Do you know?
I'm pretty sure I had the individual account.
Okay.
Go back and double check that.
I'd probably start with the basics of it, see where you want to go with it, Patricia, just play around with it a little bit. And it might open yourself up to see like, hey, I want to open up these things. So let me, and it's working, it's doing some things I like. So now you spend a little bit more, maybe give it a test run,
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
And for what I'm doing different,
Mm-hmm.
I'm working on a webinar that'll come up on Facebook.
Okay.
And I now know my message and what value I bring to the business and to agents that are wanting to join me in my mission.
Okay.
So, and on the webinar, it allows you, it'll come up and it'll show what time do you want to see the presentation. And it's a back office CRM that it keeps track of that with the person's information. So I'm working on that, and I'm working on a program for LinkedIn as well to generate leads through LinkedIn.
Cool. Sounds good. Kevin, you started to say something.
Unmute myself here.
Sure.
I don't know whether you know this. I'm new to the area. We've spoken before on this Zoom, and I've adopted a QR code in my direct mail. No one's hit it yet because I just started using it, at the end of the year. But the beginning of the year, I'm sending out another mailing soon. I'm actually working on it now, which leads them directly to what's my home worth valuation on my my EXP page. So I really want to build my database that way. I'm only targeting my local town. I'm not going too wide yet, but I'm also going to be working with one of the dialers, either RedX or or one of those dialers to start hitting expireds and FSBOs. So that's what I'm doing different this year.
Cool.
How many are you mailing to, Kevin? Like as you're starting out, like how many are you mailing?
Well, I'm targeting, mature, mature properties with at least 7 years, with a certain amount of equity, with possible empty nesters. So as far as quantity goes, my first mailing was 500. My last one was 650. My next one is, and I'm hitting the same addresses. And my next one, which is going out by the end of the month, is probably going to be about 750. So I'm trying not to break the bank on this. But, I do have a resource for postcard templates. Of course, I bounce it through the through the brokerage. And they correct what needs to be corrected. And then I just send them out, a little bit at a time. Haven't gotten anything yet, but this is that type of market. I've got to build my brand. I just hit California in August. So I know it takes time, and I just have to keep meeting all you nice people and getting great ideas, and and working the system. So,
and I think what you said is the follow-up to the mailers is the phone calls, right?
Right.
So if you're using RedX or whomever, whether you're doing it or you're having somebody do it and using a script that you've approved or that you've given them to use to connect them to you, like that's where you're going to see obviously the bigger return. It's like the mailer, and then follow up with phone call, kind of based on the mailer that you just sent out. If the mailer had some value in it, or even as you mentioned, the one is asking if they want their home value report, right? Following up on the phone call with that same question.
let me ask a general question before I jump off. When it comes to QR codes, a lot of restaurants are putting their menus on QR. Do you, as a person, ever take your phone and scan a QR code somewhere and say, oh, let me see a little more information about this? Or does anybody else who's on this call do that?
I do.
That's my last question.
Yeah.
Jeff talked a little about QR codes. I
Yeah.
I do at restaurants and all, but only because I have to, because they won't give me a paper menu. But
Other people, any other thoughts on that? Do you guys, anybody ever you click on those or take a picture of those sometimes
Yeah.
just to?
I hate them. I absolutely hate
I'm
'em.
not a fan either. Our church is trying to get everybody to use QR for updates and all, and I'm like,
I'll weigh in. I have a marketing background. I think QR codes are way more used over in Asia and Japan, China, all of it. Well, maybe not China, but US has been slower to adopt. My suggestion on any print stuff that you're doing is sure, have it on there for the people who will use it. I would say the younger audience might be more likely to use it rather than the older audience. But make sure that that same URL that you're sending them to with that QR code is printed on there as well for somebody who doesn't want to use the QR code, just as a backup.
It's a good thought.
yeah, good point.
Awesome. Thank you.
By the way, Kathy, up to that, on that 3 hours that would be offered to them, it would be up to that. That'd be the maximum. They wouldn't have to sit there for 3 hours. And I would be doing it virtually, so I could do it for other agents as well.
Okay.
Cool.
Can I weigh in on something that?
Yeah,
I'm
Michelle, go ahead.
Well, I'm new to the area too, like this gentleman who just spoke. I've only been here a couple of months and just bought a house. I'm trying to get everything set up. But one of the major huge things you need to do in all of your marketing is to be consistent. I remember I paid into somebody who helped me get everything consistent. Like have the same picture on all your social media. Me, I'm trying to hit home the red color, so I wear a red shirt. I have a red car. I don't know why people around here don't use car magnets. I really don't see any car magnets, but I got some and I'm slapping them on my car. And I came from Florida. I have about 11 years experience. And, I just try to be consistent with everything that I do. And I love it when I meet people and I give them my card and they're like, I've seen this somewhere before, So I feel like it's hitting home. They might not be getting it just yet, but just doing it everywhere. And I'm really excited. I'm getting my kvCore all set up. I'm going through my list actually and just eliminating people who have not even opened my email, ever. So I'm streamlining my list that I already have. And then I'm getting excited about learning how to use kvCore to do some actual marketing, which, I've seen some demos and stuff, but I haven't actually started. So I'm excited to make that work. But as far as YouTube, I dabbled in that. That is definitely the way to go. Doing videos, putting videos on Facebook gets the highest draw, gets the highest interaction. One tip that was mentioned to me by somebody else who's professional in that is don't just slap your YouTube video on your Facebook timeline. YouTube's algorithms doesn't like you. Facebook's algorithms does not like you leaving Facebook. So if you have a nice video that you are putting on YouTube, upload it into Facebook. Don't just paste your YouTube link. You'll get better results that way. But yeah, at the same time as everybody else, I know video is the way to go. I actually bought some of that equipment and I have some editing background, although I don't really want to do it. But to be consistent is huge. So I definitely want to do that. And also in the first few seconds of your video, try to grab the audience that you want, because the fall off rate, people drop out of your video very fast. So in the beginning, you have to hook the people who are going to care about what you're going to talk about in that video. It's hugely important.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good.
The reels are huge. I mean, that's
Yeah.
that's such a growing thing. It's all, between TikTok and Facebook and Instagram and, those 1 minute sound bites. I mean, it's huge. Real quick, Michelle, with kvCore, have you worked with Kim at all to get some help with kvCore?
No, I think she reached out. I need to reach back out to her. I'm actually doing some of that training. I have uploaded my list and I'm weeding through it and learning as I'm going. But I kind of wanted to get that done, and then I'll probably reach out to her and be like, okay, how can I best use this?
Yeah.
So
Just so you guys all know, I'm sorry, go ahead, Kelly.
No,
I'm
go
sorry.
ahead. You're probably good.
No, I was just going to say, just so all of you know, if you're part of Freedom Team, with most of us here are with EXP, Kim, is all set up and running with a whole kvCore training platform, basically to help you get it set up step by step by step, implement everything. I'm actually going through it right now myself with her, working on that. Hopefully get some set up later this week for the next session here. But I've got mine set up partially, but I want to take it to another level this year as well. That's something I'm working on, just to bring in more leads and stuff. But anyway, so Kim has got that down. So just reach out to her, reach out to any of us. We can help you get connected there. But all those details too are in our workplace group. Okay. I would just encourage you guys, really, if you have not plugged into the workplace group, in the Freedom Team group there, be sure to do that. We're going to be doing a lot of communicating this year through that workplace group. Okay. So just be checking that kind of on a daily basis. Just see what's new. It'll take you 30 seconds, click in there. Try and get the habit of doing that, because we're going to be posting a lot of things in there. But all the details for Kim and that kvCore package of things that we're doing is in there as well. So
Yeah, Kim just posted it. I was just gonna suggest
There you go.
it there. So Kim just posted that if you want to learn, if you want her to set your whole kvCore page up, the website, the front facing part of it, she can do all of that. And then so she's got some different things she can talk to you about. And I'll just say, for everybody who is part of EXP that's on here, I mean, that's a tool that you get, right, for being a part of EXP. And I was on another mastermind call, and one of our agents, they do a lot of property boost on kvCore for the listings. But I think you can do that not even with your own listings. If you don't have a listing, you can do property boost. They spent $60. They got 100 leads that came in off of that one property boost. And so, going into 2023, we saw it coming into the ending of 2022, obviously the market has shifted. It's not put the listing up and you're going to get 20 offers in, 20 hours like it was this time last year. So we are having to do what we used to do for most of our careers, and really market homes and get creative and doing different things. And kvCore is a great tool for you to market your listings, and also to do some lead gen or to do some lead gen / lead capture, because it will capture all the information. So if you're struggling for leads, I'm going to encourage you, if you're with EXP, learn kvCore. If you don't want to take the time to self-learn it, reach out to Kim, get set up with her, and get that implemented this first quarter. Because once you learn it, you've learned it, right? So if you'll spend a little bit of time with Kim, or either doing self-training, because you can do that too, but if you'll do a little bit of time, then it will be a tool that will serve you for the rest of your career.
Yeah, definitely. Property boost is awesome, guys. I mean, I would say property boost. My wife and I, we've done some property boost. Now, again, I didn't know until just recently that you could boost other. I think do you need their permission? Do you know? To boost a property that's not, you do need their permission. I'm thinking probably.
I don't know if within EXP you do.
It depends on your state. You need to ask your broker.
Okay. But to boost another property that's listed by EXP, by an EXP agent, whatever. Yeah. So depending on your state, just get that cleared up. But we've done really well with that. I mean, we would bring in for $60. I was like, I'll try it. It runs for 7 days.
Yeah.
We'd get, I think the least we got on it was probably, I don't know, 40 leads, but
Yeah.
we'd get 40 to 60, 50, 70 leads for 1 week, with a property boost,
Mhm.
depending on the property. So, but I always did it with my own properties. I just didn't realize until recently that you could actually do it with other
Other-
EXP agents' properties. So anyway, great way to bring in some leads, and
Yeah.
so definitely good.
I also understand that kvCore has an auto dialer
Yes,
in the system.
it does. Yeah, there's all kinds of add-ons that you can do with it in the back office. So it does have I don't forget if it's Mojo dialer. I forget what it is, but they do have a dialer in there for sure. Sandra, would you mind unmuting yourself for a minute? Not to put you on the spot. It's good to see you. So thanks for jumping on. Any thoughts as you go into the new year? Just to check in with you real quick. I mean, what are some things that your goals that you have coming in here to the new year?
More calls. I get about 40 leads a month in, and I'm pretty bad with following up. So this year I'm going to call at least 20 people a day
Nice.
and just, follow up.
Hold yourself to that. And if you need somebody to help you with that, sometimes it's good to have a running buddy, a partner to help, like an accountability partner if you need to, whatever. Have a checklist and just, you print up 5 of them for the week, Monday through Friday, whatever. And just, 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way down to 20 and feel good about that. You did your 20. I mean, that's awesome. Just set yourself up somehow, some way, figure out what that is. I've seen people take, here's a jar of marbles. They take the one marble out and put it in this jar. And once this jar is empty, they did their 20 calls. There's 20 marbles in there and they just moved them over here.
Right.
Somehow to just hold yourself to it,
Okay.
Yeah. That consistency with the phone calls will absolutely transform everything about your business. It was something I got early on.
I realized that I lost a lot of business last year when I did follow up that they already purchased or they already listed.
Yeah,
So.
for sure. One of the questions that we always learn to ask early on this coaching program I was in, we get a new lead and we're talking to them and they're when are you thinking about making a move? Well, probably, maybe, we're just looking right now, the holidays, but we're thinking probably sometime June or July. Okay. Here's the question at the end of that phone call. I would ask, when would be a good time for me to follow back with you? And they might say, well, why don't you call us in June? Cut it in half every single time, cut it in half. If they say 6 months, call them in 3. They won't remember that they told you 6 when you call them back in 3. But to be on top of that, I got so good at just having that in my database. I pull it up every day. Here's the calls for today. And I had notes in there. I talked to them back in September. They said to call in 6 months. Here's what they're looking to do, whatever. So I call them up. Hey, whatever. Hey, Joe, Jeff Morrell, EXP Realty. Just wanted to follow back with you. I know we talked to you a few months ago. You were looking to make a move. How are your plans coming along? And we just started having this conversation. Next thing you know, it's like, now they're ready to start looking now, whatever. And I learned that because I lost a few people. Sure enough, I call, oh yeah, we bought 3 months ago. Oh crap, you told me to call in 6 months. I should have called you in 3.
Right.
That stuff would happen. So if they say a year, I call them in 6 months. They say 8 months, call them in 4. I mean, you just cut it in half.
Okay.
Just a good piece. But when would be a good time for me to follow back with you? That question at the very end of those calls. And so, and they're fine. So something to think about. That consistency will pay off though. Seriously, most people, we hate picking up the phone. Most of us, we don't like making the calls, but that being on the phone, it's the lifeblood of your business in this business.
That's right.
For sure.
Well, who else has something that they're focused on this first couple of weeks to get their business kicked off?
Brad does. Brad's got some things he wants to share.
Oh, Brad, bring it.
How you doing, Brad?
Are you talking about a different Brad?
No, it's good to see you, man. Any thoughts as we're doing all this? What thoughts
just
you have
one
coming
thing.
into the new year here?
Yeah, one thing that I was working on towards the end of the year, and hopefully should get it launched, I guess, if you will, is partnered with a local lender who has some special lending rates, or actually, some rebates, I guess, or some money off for first responders and veterans. And so we're trying to work something with the local, like police departments, fire departments, American Legions, VFWs, those type of things. So that's kind of, at least for me, something new that I'm working on trying to get rolling in
Very
the
cool.
first quarter of the year.
Very cool.
So
And it just
how are
remind.
you gonna, can I ask, how are you gonna roll that out to, how are you gonna get the message out, to the different services?
So we put basically a folder together, if you will, that has a couple of flyers in it that talk about the specifics of the program. That the lender and I, PRMG, are partnering, so we're going to take that around to, we started out with about 25 or 30 different, like I said, police departments, fire stations, some that are fairly close by where we all live. And then we're basically going to take those in person to those various locations.
Nice.
Cool. It makes me think it's a great time to be talking to lenders and brainstorming with some lenders wherever you are, and just they've got different programs, different things that they could do, and then partner up on marketing, share some costs, different things that you could do, because, we're all looking for, more business coming into the new year here for sure.
How many of y'all, or do any of y'all work on with new construction and actually partnering with an agent, developing a relationship? Right now, new construction, at least here in Nashville where I'm at, they're offering all kinds of incentives, right? They're for closing costs. They'll pay $10,000, $15,000, some of them $20,000 towards closing costs and buy downs, and Cristin, even if they do that up in your area, that would be a good YouTube video, right? About why it's important to work with a realtor when you're buying new construction, because a lot of people don't even realize why they should have a realtor. They don't understand that on-site agent is working on behalf of the builder. But going around and creating and developing relationships with folks that are sitting in these model homes, because most of the time, unless it's a first-time home buyer kind of community, the buyers have to sell something. And so I have known a lot of people. It's one area that I thought I would do, but I never did do it. But I've heard a lot of people having success. So that's just another thought of maybe, picking a neighborhood or 2 or 3 or 4 and really get to know the on-site agent and be consistent and following up and going by there and taking them cookies or whatever, building relationship for referrals for people that are looking to sell who are wanting to buy in their neighborhood. Now, you're not going to represent them on the buy side and make that clear so that they don't think you're trying to, come in and be a client with their client, but that you're just looking to be a service on the sales side.
Definitely. It's good. One of the things I'll share, guys, just to wrap it up, and if anybody has any other things they want to throw out, absolutely feel free to. I mentioned this. We mentioned this a lot here lately. I think the last few months here is, I just want to emphasize, to read beyond the headlines. Really understand what's going on in the industry, because if you just read the headlines, again, it's like doom and gloom. My wife and I, we had a Christmas get together that we did for past clients. We had about 70 people that we got with, and I knew going into that there was going to be, of course, a lot of talk, people asking questions about the market and all this kind of stuff. And I sat down with this couple, whatever, they were renting, and we're just talking, catching up, and they're talking about the rates and how they, wish they would have bought sooner and whatever, and they just extended their lease and all this kind of stuff, whatever. And I just started showing them some of the numbers and different things. Whatever we did that party. It was on a Sunday, December 7th or 8th. I forget, whatever the date was in there. They're now actually under contract closing here in about 2 weeks, because just talking to them, they realized that, wait a minute, this isn't as bad as what they thought, and I think it's important to know what's going on. I'm going to share my screen here for just a second before we go out of here. And Kathy, if you have any thoughts or comments on this, not to take over here, but I do want to show you guys something, because these are just some slides that, just things that I saw, a couple days ago. Let me go back here. So right here, this is just something to be aware of. Okay. Right now, this Lending Tree did this survey. Is the housing market going to crash? 41% of Americans believe the housing market will crash in the next 12 months. 72% of those people think that it's going to be worse, as bad or worse than what it was in 2008. This is the public's perception right now. Okay. 58%, whatever says that, I can't see this here because of my.
Because they're postponing housing related changes.
They're putting off. They're putting. They're postponing. Kind of like those people I was sitting at the dining room table with. Okay. This was an article recently, Yahoo Finance. 15 years ago, the housing market crashed under similar circumstances. Now, if you just read the headline, and here's what people are seeing, you can understand why the results of that survey are what they are. If you just read the headline, but here's the truth of it. Okay. Today is nothing like 15 years ago. Okay. Here, job cuts, 15 years ago, 8 million job cuts. Right now, if anything, I mean, we haven't had that at all so far. Okay. Total jobs, you can see right there the numbers. Subprime loans, that was a huge factor in 2008 being what it was. We have virtually none of those today. Okay. New construction, you can see the numbers. Let's see, inventory on market down here. Mortgage delinquency, 10.1% of mortgages, 10 out of 100 were delinquent. Right now it's 3. Okay. Homes in foreclosure, 4.6%. Back in 2008, today it's 0.6%. Okay. Home price forecast, this comes out just about every month, whatever. I don't think we're going to see big gains this year, but you're seeing realtor.com says we're going to see a 5.4% increase in prices this year, all the way down to Zelman, which is saying we're going to drop 5.1%. But again, the average of all 7 of these forecasts really just kind of staying flat for this year. Okay. And again, here's what I tell you guys, you could have these slides. I will put these slides into Workplace, into the group. I would put these slides, just screenshots of these on my phone and just have them with me. And if I'm out there and I'm having a conversation, or I'm in a coffee shop and I'm meeting somebody, whatever, just to show somebody some of this, but to be knowledgeable about this so that you can share some of this with people. The foreclosure thing, we're hearing all this talk, foreclosures. Okay. In 2008, 2009, look at this. It peaked at 2 million foreclosures. Okay. Foreclosures are up right now from where they've been the last couple years, really. But you look at this, we're at 88,000 foreclosures at the end of the third quarter of 2022. Okay. We're really kind of coming back. If you look here, 2019, we had 278,000, and 2019 was a great year in real estate. Okay. We're nowhere near what we were back here in 2008. But the public, if you just read the headlines, it's like, oh my God, whatever, let's hold off on doing anything. Okay. So I think it's good to see these, the mortgage rates over the last year, of course, they went up. Really, they've kind of stabled out a little bit. As of the 29th, I just looked it up yesterday, they were at 6.42% Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac, 30-year fixed as of December 29th. Okay. So it's just kind of hanging right here, right now. Sort of stabling out. What are they going to do the next few months? I don't know. We don't know. But again, here's been the averages. They really continue down. Okay. So, this quote, prospective buyers may be tempted to try to time rates to jump into the market when rates dip, but timing rates is difficult. These are the buyers that I was sitting at my dining room table with 3 weeks ago. Okay. And again, right now, because I was able to show them some things and I had some of this kind of data, and I prepared for it going into that get together that we had, because I knew I was going to be having some of these conversations. And those people realized wow, it's not as bad as I thought. And next thing you know, we're out looking at homes and they're excited. They're under contract. We close here, this month. So it's just something, just a few things. Read beyond the headlines. We talk about that on here. And I think it's just good to do that because we're really heading back to more of a 2019, more of a normal market. It's not doom and gloom and craziness. It's nowhere near 2008, but the headlines will scare you to death if you just land on those. So any thoughts on that, Kathy?
Well, 2 things I'll add. It is our job to educate people because like you said, it's, the headlines are going to, has clearly scared everybody. So I think, again, going back to video, that's why we should be doing some video and just doing a couple of minute clips about the reality of the market. And updating, if a buyer today buys a house at quote unquote normal pricing. They're not bidding up 50, 60, $80,000 over what the list price is. They buy today without having to overbid on a house at today's current rate. They're not spending any more monthly than if they got the lower rate earlier in the year and paid 50K more for the property. So that's another thought that you can talk about. If you don't know how to calculate the numbers for yourself, have a conversation with your lender. And again, just bring that education and awareness to your network and just say, look, you can buy today. Everyone's so worried about the interest rate, but your payments are going to likely be the same at the higher interest rate now than what they would have been if you're paying $50, $60, $70,000 overpriced 6 or 8 months ago. And so, just to be able to communicate that information to your buyers. And those slides that Jeff was showing, that comes from Keeping Current Matters. And that's a subscription that you can subscribe to. And they are excellent. They are excellent with up-to-date data like he was showing. Yep. And so I would encourage everybody to go get yourself a subscription. What is it? 29. I've got it too. It's like $29 a month or something.
It's very cheap.
It's not very much, but you can stay on top of the market. And then we, as the professionals, can bring the truth out there to the marketplace.
They do a thing called the weekly deep dive. It usually comes out on Mondays. Didn't come out yesterday because of the holiday. But they'll have just 5 or 6 slides like that. It's usually 15, 20 minutes, and it just keeps you up on what's going on. But to have those, and again, just stay up on top of what's going on. One of the things, just to hit that, Kathy, and I showed, this is one of the things that I can't do. I'll show you this. This is what I showed these buyers. Okay. Buying a house 6 months ago, the list price was say $450,000. It sold for $500,000. This is 6 months ago. 10% down, 4.5% interest rate, your monthly payment, $3,028. Now, buying that same house today, it's listed at $450,000. You're going to get it for $425,000. You're going to put 10% down, the interest rate, 6.5%. Your monthly payment is $3,053.
Yeah.
$25 more per month than what you would have paid 6 months ago. Yeah. And again, to have data like this and to be able to show this and explain this to people, it's that kind of stuff where when you're on top of it, here's buyers now that we're just extending their lease and going to stay for another year and try and time the market better. And now they're ready to buy a house and they're closing this month because but I had to educate them on that, So just things to be aware of. Yeah.
Why don't we end this with, I want to see a raise of hands. Why don't we end this with a challenge that everybody on here is going to go live on Facebook with some kind of update in the marketplace, with something that Jeff just shared and talked about, and given the truth to the public versus the things that they're just reading on the headline and not bothering reading the whole article. Who's willing to do that this week? Yeah. One quick video.
Heck yeah, I'll do it.
All right.
I'll go live today with those slides.
All right. Yeah, that'd be good to go live with those slides. So I'm gonna encourage everybody to get out of their comfort zone and just do it. It doesn't have to be a long video, just do a couple-minute video. And now you're starting to set yourself up as the expert in your area, in your network, everything, when you're bringing information like that to the forefront. So
yep. Cool. Next week, Kathy Russ is training. Is that right?
He's
going to
speak. Yeah.
What's the topic? I forget. You have it off the top of your head? Do you remember what it is?
Give me 5 seconds and I will tell you. So next week, he is with corporate, y'all. He's with corporate, but he has sold a lot of business. So it's 3 recipes to attract business and have more fun doing it. Who wants to attract more business and have more fun?
Enjoy it.
Russ is going to be here next week, and that's what he's going to be talking about.
Cool. Guys, thank you very much. Kathy, thank you. Thank you for everybody who participated in any way at all, and all of you who are here and couldn't for whatever reason. Guys, we love that you're here. Again, we'll be doing this every Tuesday throughout the year. Lots of ways to just stay on top of things and and push each other along here and really make it a great year. This could be the best year that
Yes.
you've ever had in your business. It
Yes.
can be. And I know all of us here, the leaders, especially here at Freedom Team, we're committed to help you guys get there. So be plugged into the workplace group in Freedom Team, or the Freedom Team group in workplace. Be plugged into all the things we're doing. Be watching your emails for some daily updates. We're going to be getting that going here. Some of you probably got that this morning and yesterday from Eric. Kathy's going to be sending one out tomorrow. It's just really on top of this. We want to help you with your business to just really have a stellar year. So we're excited for it. It's going to be a good one. Okay. Kathy, thank you. Kim, thanks for everything.
everybody.
Guys, thank you all. Have a great day.
Have a
Have a
great
good
day,
week.
guys and girls.
Reach out to us if you need us. Okay. We'll see you.
Bye-bye.